Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cleveland Browns. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, Jack!
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now back to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 45. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. The Browns had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Moore, the man in motion. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson to the right side, and he's got Moore complete. He's got room at the 30. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown! Elijah Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. He's going to keep this again. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On play action, they'll throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
It's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
They go with Cunningham. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Faking the give. Now Watson steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. Touchdown, Browns. Anthony Schwartz, 28 yards. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Here's a run with Akers on. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Cunningham. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's Johnston. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. So the roughing call there on the extra point and going to give him another shot.
Pretty good sell job there, too. I think it was the right call, but a little embellishment never hurts.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. He's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Even with the good gain, I thought they might accept that one.
Yeah, you thought maybe they'd go with the downs as opposed to the yardage. So if you're taking the yardage now, 2nd and less than 5, that tells me you feel good about how your offense is working.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and handling a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Now Watson. And that is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
And the slot man goes in motion left. They will indeed snap it to Watson. That's to his running back, complete. And some room to maneuver. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A give up the middle to Akers. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
They'll try and throw for it here. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And incomplete on the deep ball. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
The final shot before the break, Watson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Chubb on the counter. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Cunningham. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Aaron Donald able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Browns send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Able to slither by. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll come out throwing here on first down.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Moore. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Watson on first down. This is the tight end, Njoku. Room here to run. Touchdown. David Njoku. 52 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
He's got a man, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They give him a gain of 38. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They begin this drive with Chubb.
58 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And again, it's Chubb. They find some open field here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Jordan Fuller there to take him down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run with Cunningham. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
In motion left goes a tight end. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Up the middle they go. It's Cunningham, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Cooper, the man in motion right. 3rd and goal from just outside the 10. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run that time. They couldn't close him down, and now 9 yards makes for a very different situation on 4th and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. And they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
York now for the extra point.
And this part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Short. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the
He's got a man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And Shark calls it in. And he's across for the touch. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. the middle. It's Cunningham, and they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Again, Cunningham here on the ground, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And a big-time mess on the return. He's out of bounds. He won't even get this back to the 5-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Come on. Hey, hurry.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Grant Delpit.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Fans usually love to see